got a good one. I don't know how much you've been following the European side of all this, but obviously there was the FPV, whatever they are, the letters after the name people were all going, we'd have 50,000 ventilators right now if we'd just played ball with the EU. None of them have arrived, obviously. And then there was the PPE, there was millions of masks. We would have had millions of masks. Again, not a single person has had a single mask from the European PPE scheme. And the latest one, which 4 days ago was this 500 billion euro relief fund 4 days ago. And again, they were all the European people were just going, see, and it's already fallen apart. The whole thing's collapsed. Is it already.
Just me? I hate to be picky, but when you hear PPE, in your head, do you get the have you been missold PPE? I can't get it. I was the same with FBPE, followed back pro-Europe. That's have you been missold, followed back pro-Europe? I can't get it out of my head. But also with the PPE, there was an interview the other day with a doctor on the BBC, and he went, no, we got loads, we're fine. and the BBC journalist, I've never heard anyone sound so fucking disappointed in my life, because a lot of the problem is, you can trace it back to government at the long reach, but it's down to the procurement of particular trusts. Particular trusts are just worse than others. But this guy was going, no, we got loads. We're fine. Thanks very much. And not just us we've got it all through the whole hospital. We're doing great. Thank you.
A nurse on Twitter today was proclaiming about how our hospital had run out and it was a disgrace, and the Tories have failed us, blah, 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 and all that. So, about 100 people asked her which hospital she worked at. And after about an hour, she just deleted her account.
Mr. Cooksey,
King Bibi,
you shut your dirty, filthy mouth. You shut your dirty, filthy mouth, King Bibi. He's a saint. Well, he's above people like you.
Bibi. There you go, man.
He's conceded defeat, the bollocks, hasn't he? I think he's basically said to Benny Gantz and the other fucker, former government, I'm out of here.
There we go. And we'll salute the next one, but Bibi will always be King Bibi to us. For as long as it drives people absolutely fucking insane, he will be King Bibi.
Oh, yeah. Only place in the middle here you can shag another bloke. I love it. Great. Wonderful.
It's funny to talk about the nurses there and the procurement, and obviously the likes of Sky and Channel 4 are obviously going big on the government's failure to be prepared. But again, there's a little bit of a clue in there, in my opinion, I must say again, in my opinion, to the overall truth. They're not prepared because there's no fucking need to be prepared.
Not only that.
There's no need to be prepared for it.
But not only that.
People, and we all do what we normally do and we get over it.
But no government, here's the other thing, just devil's advocate time to a degree. No government is prepared for every eventuality. People say to us, well, it's freezing cold in Sweden for 7 months. Our trains don't stop. Yeah, but the difference is we don't expect that. We're not set up for that. We're set up for our life to continue along these paths. And when it does diverge, we've got a problem, because you can't prepare. How the fuck can you have enough stuff stockpiled for a pandemic?
No.
One drop.
What does it do for the rest of the time? What does it do for the rest of the time?
They know that viruses are not global killers. They know that viruses attack vulnerable people. It has always been thus. There is something very, very wrong with this. And I believe that ultimately, they're talking about fucking prolonged lockdowns and staggered lockdowns. And they're talking about, like Gates is saying, everybody will have to have the virus before we can all, the vaccine before we can all start going back to fucking normal. Not going back to vaccines again now. We're not going back to vaccines again.
Yeah, I don't agree with him on that, by the way. He can go fuck himself.
Well, listen, I've got tickets for Simply Red in October in the arena.
Charlie Drake.
I know. But if you don't know me by now, you don't know that I love Simply Red.
Simply fucking.
I won't be fucking going. I'm telling you, there'll be a text come in. Hey, Richie, you can't go because you haven't had the vaccine.
I'll be tuning into your show that evening, mate. Don't you, please?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what.
The thing is, I've no program in the last years. That's as funny as this.
This is the thing, though. Because I follow this more, and this goes back right to the start in terms of you saying, and I'm sort of mincing your words a bit here, but it's a bigger plan in terms of population control. I saw somebody put it really, really well. Like, a government that does nothing and then 10,000 people die will be hated more than a government that does too much and 20,000 people die. You know, there's the to me, like, you can say, oh, it's just, I don't buy the incompetence thing, but it's not, it's fucking politics. It's the government has to be seen. They locked down because of public pressure. Sure, they could find the science there or whatever, but to me, I don't see the plan. All I see is Boris and everyone thinking, we need to win the next election. We need to make sure they don't riot. We need to make sure that, you know, we keep people calm and cool and all the rest of it, even though a looser thing, for example, keeping the schools open, people were losing their minds over keeping the schools open. That's why they closed them, not because of the science, just because of demand. And that again, that's why I don't see this big plan. All I see is politicians that want to keep their jobs.
I've got a horrible feeling that at the end of this, in 12, 18 months, when we can really get some figures going, apart from the odd aberration country such as South Korea and some others, I think no matter what we did or when we did it, we're all going to end up with very, very similar figures. Yes. And by the way, hello to the people watching on Twitch. You're new people. You're super.
Yeah, get on our Twitch, guys. There's a link